my fabulous people. Hey, hi. I am so silly, guys. Guess what? It is Tuesday. It is raining outside. Somebody tell these clouds to go away. But it doesn't even matter because it's raining out there, but I am happy. How you all doing? I know, guys. You know what? Laughter is good for your soul. If you are not smiling, I want you to put on your best smile today. It has been a long weekend observing MLK's birthday. Excuse me. Yesterday it was a nice 3-day weekend. It gave you a chance to reflect. If you didn't reflect, it gave you a chance to relax, enjoy your family, just appreciate the privileges that we have today because somebody else sacrificed and paved the way for us. But anyway, how are you guys doing? I am doing fabulous. I am always fabulous, and I pray that you all are doing fabulous too. I just got in not too long ago from my little appointment. I'm not always going to have lipstick on when I am doing a video, but I was like, I got to hurry up and talk about something that I really want to talk about today because a lot of things that I talk about is because it's dear to my heart. I may experience them, but this topic, I really, really want to be an encouragement to everybody today. And if you don't know, the topic of discussion today is called It's Not Too Late for You. It is not too late for you. And this is something that even if you are, because I've learned that not everybody that is a parent watches my channel. It was so encouraging. Somebody had reached out to me and gave me some really, really encouraging words. And she's even going to purchase my notebook and my T-shirt and and the tote bag. And that is such a blessing to me because you never know when you're talking who your message or the message that you have is reaching out to. And you don't know what their future holds, what they may experience. She may become a parent one day in her life. That's a desire of her heart. I don't know, but it's so befitting for that because she is not a parent at this time. But I wanted to be have a message today that was really, really encouraging, and it's not too late for you. And that's what I want to say. It's not too late for you. And I want to say that because sometimes I think that the older we get, we seem to think that we run out of time to do certain things. Or, you heard the saying, time waits for no man, because it's true. Time is forever ticking. It's forever, it's not going to stop, not for anybody. But I want you to say, because we are people who do base our lives off of time. And you know it, we do. When it's the daytime, we're doing certain things. When it's the nighttime, it's like we've programmed ourselves to allow time to guide our lives. And we have to at times because when it's daytime, there are certain things you want to take care of during the day. Because when it's nighttime, it's dark. And it's a lot of things you more so your body's in relaxed mode. But when it comes to what I want to talk about today, what I'm talking about time, I want us to not allow that type of time to govern our lives. Meaning, I don't want that kind of time to be a hindrance or to stop you from something that you think you're too late for. And what I'm talking about is becoming a parent. This channel, of course, is called 40s Plus Mom Movement. It's called 40s Plus Mom Movement, and then it's talking about talking about different parenting challenges. And this to me is a very unique or a good challenge, or just a challenge, yes, but it's also an encouraging thing I want to talk about today, just for parents or women. And like I said, there could be men watching this too. So if you are thinking about becoming a parent and you have reached that 40s or you're getting close to 40 and you're thinking it's too late for me, I'm getting too old, I don't want to have kids, and you may have a burning desire in your heart to become a parent, or you may be contemplating becoming a parent and you don't have kids. You know, I don't want you to allow time looking at your age because, see, I know that our bodies are constantly getting older. I'm fully aware of that. And I'm fully aware of everything they say about as your body gets older. It's a lot of things that if you have kids later in life, your kids can deal with things like certain developmental delays, or this can happen with your kid, or that can happen with your kid, or maybe you won't be able to conceive because you're older, or maybe your kid, this might be wrong. Let me tell you something. Do not allow that to stop you, because let me tell you about a child. A child is a blessing. A child adds so much to your life. I mean, yes, it's not easy. And I'm going to tell you, parenting is not something that you just don't ever think that whatever you see on TV or in movies, how the kids are just wonderful. They just want to listen. Oh, they just love you so much. Yes, they do. But they're still kids. They still are kids. They are still going to pluck every nerve you have. They are still going to do the things that you tell them not to do. They are still, even when you think that they're following directions, they're going to have them days when they're not. But guess what? There's still a blessing. There is so much value that a child adds to your life. And I don't want you to look at your life and say to yourself, "Oh my goodness, I'm about 40. I'm 41. I'm 42. I'm 45. I'm 46. I'm 48. I'm 50. I'm 50s." Because what I have learned is that the world that we live in, they always tell and try to control when people should have kids. They always say, I've heard you should have your kids when you're younger. You should have your kids when before you get a certain age. So I just want to talk kind of about all of that, because I did not have my child. My daughter, I didn't have her when I was younger. I didn't. And I remember when I first started this channel, I started in 2018. Wow, I didn't even know that until I looked one day and I said, I've had this channel since 2018. But when I started it, I started this channel because I believe that I could encourage other women who think that it's too late to become a mom. And now other men who feel like it's too late. I forgot what actor this is. I don't know if you all are familiar with him, but he plays, and I can't even think about his name, but I remember with some clip I think I was watching just briefly on the Jennifer Hudson show, and he is just about to become a father. You know how old this actor is? And I may have thought he may have had kids. A very handsome guy. He is 53 going on 54, and he is about to become a father. And he is so excited about that, because there is a type of joy that kids do bring into your life. And even think about, I mean, to be honest, even when you got to discipline them, you have to correct them, you have to, it feels like you're pulling your hair out all day long. And you might as well put a tape recorder on and just repeat the same words over and over again, because they're going to keep doing the same things. You're going to feel like, didn't I just say that like 10 times ago? Now I got to say it 50 more times ago. And even with all of that, and with everything that they do that does not make you happy, you're still going to love them. Like, you're still going to love them. You're still going to cherish them. You're still going to evolve. Because I think when people get older, sometimes they lean towards retirement. And I know we've worked all our lives. We have put in a lot of work. And so you want to retire, you want to lay back. But if you don't have a plan and you just want to lay back and just, you think about that. You've worked all your life and you're like, and you don't have any kids. Excuse me. And so now when you retire, you just have you. And I'm not telling you go have kids when you're 70 and 80. Hey, if that's what you want to do, I am not going to stop you. I'm not putting a cap on it of telling you what you can do with your body. But what I'm saying is that I want you to get rid of the whole mind frame saying that I'm too old. If I try to have a baby now, it's not going to work. And I'm going to be honest, guys, this is the funny thing. I think it was one of the videos I did a long time ago. I think it was called What Took You So Long? And I think that was a topic that I talked about. I'm going to be honest with you all. I was a teacher. So I have been around kids, not just being a teacher all of my life, but I also had, it was six of us, three girls, three boys, the Brady Bunch, yes. And so I had been around kids all of my life because I'm the second oldest. So I've been around kids, brothers, sisters. Then I was a teacher for 25 plus years. And so I had always been around kids, but I always had a connection with kids. And the thing with me is that I always desired to be a parent, even regardless how much my siblings got on my nerves, regardless of the kids that I taught. And I've taught kids, and all kids are unique and they're different in their own right. So I've seen different behaviors, but that never deterred me from being a kid. I had made a promise to myself, and I'm gonna show you how awesome God is. I had made a promise to myself. I was like, if I don't have a kid or children by the time I turn 35. Now here I am. This is my timeline. I told you we're people of time because we think everything fits on our schedule. We think that everything is supposed to go according to our timeline. That's not how God works. That's not, I'm telling y'all now, that is not how God works. That is not how life works. That is not how it works. So here I am, if saying to myself, if I do not have children by the time that I am 35, I'm not having them because I was at peace in my life with having children or not. I was like, it's something my heart really desired to have a child, at least one. But if I didn't have one, I would be okay because I have my nieces and my nephews. But guess what? They grow up and then they have their own lives. And so I've always been surrounded with children. And so I remember I used to joke with my mom because my mother, she's the one that likes to hold on to, like, she still got strollers. And Lily now, my baby, she will be 5. So, but my mother has held on to this stuff. And so Lily is 5. And then my niece, who is the next, I won't say youngest, even though she's older than Lily, but she's still younger than everybody else. I believe at least she is now about to turn 9 or 10. So my mother she holds on to cribs. She still has walkers. My mom holds on to a lot of things. And this is the funny part about that. Excuse me. My mom, she always holds on to them. So when I used to go down and visit my parents, this is before I even had kids, before Lily was even in the plans, that not in my plans at the time, but I didn't even know that she was going to be in the plans. But my mother was always had her stuff out because she had a daycare too. So she was taking care of the kids and things like that. And I'd be like, well, Mom, you can put that stuff up because ain't nothing coming out of here. I got dinosaur eggs. I called I called my eggs dinosaur eggs because I was in my 40s and I did not have or foresee becoming a parent. I mean, I had totally crossed that thought out of my mind. I had never tried. And this is the interesting thing. I had never tried. So all of these women, I want to say to the women, because men cannot carry babies, women, if you have never tried to ever conceive, because I remember somebody asking me, can you even have kids? I didn't know. I never tried. All of my life, I have never tried to conceive before. And so I didn't know if I could conceive. I never tried. And I've never learned anything it was impossible. I had any issues trying to, but I never conceived. Like I never had that thought in my mind that it's a possibility that when I wanted to become a parent, I couldn't because I had maybe some issues with fertility or something like that. Never tried. And so if you are a woman who is considering thinking about having your own baby or, having your own child, don't think that because you've never tried that you can't. Or don't think that because you may have had difficulties before that you can't. Because this is the one thing that I've learned. If it is not time for you to have your child, I just believe that God is always in control of our lives. He knows when our child is going to be here and he knows the exact time. And so I don't want you to get discouraged. This is why I want to encourage you. It is not too late for you. It is not too late. Just like that gentleman is about to have a child at the age of 53. If you are a man and you are a father and you want to become a father and you have been contemplating and you just say, man, I just don't know. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't think that you cannot become a parent. And I want to talk about different reasons why we believe that we don't need to become parents, or why we decide that it's too late for us to become a parent. Because there are reasons, that we have. There are reasons that we pretty much convince ourselves of as to why we don't need to become a parent. Because now we're either coming up on our 40s, or we have entered into our 40s, or we're about to exit out our 40s. There are still women who have had babies in their 50s. I think Janet Jackson was in her 50s when she had a baby. There are people, and I say celebrities because that's what you see. They always put their lives out there. And to be honest, I have a sister who is a fabulous 53-year-old. If you don't know her, her name is Latifah Shaw. And she is a CP mom. You need to check out her channel on YouTube. But and she's talking about her journey. And she is a fabulous 53-year-old woman. She wouldn't mind me saying her age, because guess what? She's not ashamed of that. But she is a mom, and guess what? She's not having one, she's having more than one. And she's documenting her journey. So it just shows you how it's not about our time. And so a reason why we decide not to have children, it's always that one thing, that one clock everybody talks about, their biological clock. Oh, it's ticking. It's ticking. I got to have my baby before then. I got to have this baby before this. I want to have my baby before I turn this old. I don't want to have this baby then. Let me tell you something. That clock, it needs to go away. And I'm not saying that we can't look at, there are certain risks, because even when I was a parent, they had me as a high risk parent because of my age. I was high risk, and they was looking at my age and looking at everything that can occur. But let me tell you all something. My baby she is perfect. She is fearfully and wonderfully made. And every fear, this can happen to your child because you're older, this can happen to your child. Well, I want you to pay attention to something. There are some people who have had children that are younger, and the same things that they're telling me can happen to my child has happened to their children. Do not allow people to tell you you're too old because this can happen. No, children are who they are supposed to be and when they're supposed to be here. And they are who they are. So don't look at it and say, well, because she's having a baby at 21 or 22, her baby's going to be this way, that way. You don't know. Children are going to be who they are. That's who they're going to be. Let me tell you something about my baby. My daughter, she can read. My daughter was reading at the age of 2. She's very smart. She's into spelling words. And it's funny because my daughter's 4. And a lot of things that my daughter is doing, like, she surpassed some of her own. I'm just talking about, not comparing her to anybody, but I'm just saying, when I think about all the negative things that they talk about when it comes to your child, or what can happen because you have a child that's older, my daughter is very smart. She's very, very bright. She can have a conversation with me. You be like, what in the world are we talking about? Because you be like, whose kid is this? Why is this kid saying this? Why is she saying words like that? And I wanted to stop and tell you something funny about her. When she was in preschool last year, and they had to do Zoom because their school had closed for a little bit. And so they were doing classrooms on Zoom. So the teacher was asking the kids to name different words. So she was talking about some, okay, so I can give you all examples. She was like, okay, we're going to talk about, I want you all to think about words that start with the letter E. Now, they already know that they can ask everybody else. The kids are going to say egg. The kids are going to say elephant. My daughter does not say those words. I have no clue. And her teacher said, all right, Lily, come on with your college words. So my daughter at that time, she was 4. I think she was 3. She was 3, maybe going on 4, had just turned 4, or maybe she was 4, I think. And so she asked her for a word that started with E. My daughter says elevator, elementary. So she's like, all right. And it's like, if you ask her for a word, she's not just going to tell you any kind of word. She's going to give you this big word. But this is what I'm saying. My daughter, she is fascinated with words. She can spell words. I give her some spelling tests. because she is interested in these things. This is what I'm saying. These are things that people say you don't need to have kids when you're older because of X, Y, and Z. Don't allow the biological clock excuse to make you think that you missed out. It is not too late for you. It is not too late for you to decide to become a parent. That biological clock can keep on ticking. It can tick, tick, tick. Because let me tell you something, if it's a true desire of your heart and you want to become a parent, I believe God will honor that. Because I knew I wanted to be a parent, but I never said out of my mouth, God, I really, really, I didn't get on my knees and pray and say, God, please make me a parent. When I tell you all how it just happened. And this is the interesting thing. Me and my daughter's father, this is both our first kid, and we are the oldest of our siblings. So all of my siblings have kids. And then here I come. And I'm no longer auntie only now. Now I'm mommy too. And then the same with him. He's not just uncle anymore. Now he's daddy. And when I tell you the type of joy that has brought into my life, so do not look at this biological clock as an excuse that they try to give you to rob you out of that joy that you can have, that you desire in your heart. So that's one thing, a reason that I believe that we decide or talk ourselves out of having children when we are, older. We're more mature. That's one, this biological clock. The second one is a fear. I think the fear is the I don't know what, the what ifs. What can happen? What can go wrong? What if my kid, my kid comes out and they have this going on with them? What if this? What if that? What if they do not? And guess what? And if your child is born, because it's not just about you being older, having kids, and something goes on with your kid, and now you got to be this, go and be at the hospital, or you got to be here and there. No, you are cheating yourself out of one of the greatest experiences that your child can bring to your life over a fear. And I'm going to tell you all because I believe in being honest. I think another reason for me that I waited for a long time is because I did have a fear. Even though I had a desire, it wasn't the fear of what would go wrong or what if something goes wrong if I have a baby. It wasn't that fear. I wasn't afraid of pregnancy. I was afraid of the labor. Like, I'm serious, like in my brain, I wasn't afraid of the changes that my body had to go through. I wasn't afraid of all of that. Like, I looked forward to every part of that process. I just could not get over, oh my God, once this baby is in here, it has to come out. That was a fear of mine. I didn't fear about, oh my gosh, I might gain weight, this and this. I had no fears of that. I had a fear of delivery because I was like, I remember seeing stuff and how you get to push babies out, and I was like, ooh, like I don't think I'm ready for that. That looks really painful. Like I really had to come to grips that I had a fear about that. And I'm like, I take my hat off because my mom and my sister has 5 kids, and then my mom had 6 kids. So my other sister had 2 kids. I'm like, they all went through this process. I'm like, I love seeing the belly grow, but I just could not get in my mind this fear that I had, like, and even when it was time for me to have my daughter, I'm gonna tell you all something. Even I got induced a week early, only because I got so fearful that um, I didn't feel her moving or I didn't feel her being as active, not taking into account that, okay, the baby's a week away, Louise, 2 weeks away. She's big. She doesn't have a lot of room, but if I couldn't feel her move when I ate something cold or drank something cold and I didn't feel her being active, I started getting paranoid. And I was like, oh no, is something wrong with her? Did something happen to her? So it was a fear that I had. And then when it was time for me to deliver her, it was still a fear that I had, but it was okay. It was okay, and I was in good hands, and I had so much support around me. And so that fear of mine, I don't have it anymore. I mean, I don't plan to have another one. No. But according to my daughter, she's having a sister. Now, I got her a dog, and we don't have the dog right now anymore. She's not staying with us because that was like having two kids. And right now, I just need to focus on one. So I needed to. She's on hiatus right now. But anyway, according to my daughter, she's having a sister. I don't know who her sister is going to be, and I don't know where her sister's coming from. But I think this right here, this is closed. But anyway, that was just another reason I believe that we make because we're afraid. It's the unknowns, it's the questions, the what ifs. What if this isn't right? What if this is wrong? What if this happens? What if my child doesn't have this? What if my child deals with this? And what if your child does not? But I'm going to tell you something. You are still going to be a phenomenal parent regardless of who your child is. Your child is uniquely created for you. I had one of the most beautiful texts because once I had my daughter, I had a lot of fluid that was on me, still just a lot of fluid just from pregnancy, and I ended up going to the hospital 3 days after I had had Millie. And but when I tell you all something, that bond I had with my daughter, I was in tears because I missed her so much because she was a part of me, and now she wasn't. I couldn't even touch her because I was in there, and they just had to, make sure to get the fluid exited my body, things like that. And I was fine, but that fear, like as her mom, I've never knew that I could love somebody so much like that. And everything that I've dealt with since I've become a mother, like there is no fear that I'm glad I did not allow, I should say, my fears to stand in the way of what I'm experiencing today. So I want you all to know that them fears, once that child gets here, it is nothing you cannot handle. It does not matter if you're in your 40s. It doesn't matter if you're more than your 40s. I don't want you to not tell yourself, or I don't want you to talk yourself out of something that you desire within your heart. I just want to encourage you and let you know that it's still possible. If you're a single woman and you have never had kids but you want to, don't throw the whole thought away of becoming a parent. Don't do it. Don't do it. I want you to know, do not, if you are a single man or you and your wife or you and your husband or you don't have kids yet, don't throw it away. Don't give up. Don't say, well, honey, we about 48, 50. Let's just let's just get a dog. No, if your desire of your heart is to become a parent, I know y'all love your fur babies. I get that. But it's not the same. It doesn't mean you don't love them, you're not attached to them. You're going to because you're going to love them. But when it comes to something that you want, something that you have a desire for, like becoming a parent, don't ever think that you're too late. It's not too late for you. It is not too late for you. Another way that we talk ourselves out of, or we do not, or decide not to have children, is because I'm just looking at my notes. I'm using my notebook. It's because we don't think we'll be good parents. Sometimes when you reflect and you look back on your life and you think about maybe some things that you deal with or some things that you may have dealt with or some things that you're still dealing with and you're like, man, I don't want no child to come into my life like this. I'm older now and I'm still messing up. Let me tell you something. That does not mean that you're not going to be a good parent to that child. Because the one thing that a child will teach you is that you have got to grow up. And it's some things that you do that you are going to want to protect your own children from. Some of your habits, you might stop doing certain things just because you're not a parent and you see the importance of what way you want your child to go in. Because the Bible says to train up your child in the way they should go. If you know there are certain things and certain habits and certain things that you have that you're dealing with, and you are like, I got to get this together. We're going to be getting things together until we leave here. We still going to be tripping up on things that we probably should have overcome. So that shouldn't stand in the way. But don't think that you're not going to be good at something. You don't know because you've never done it. If you've never become a parent, you don't know what you're going to do. But I can tell you what you are going to do. You're going to love that child. You're going to make sure that child is safe. You're going to make sure that child is protected. You're going to make sure that child has what they need. You're going to be able to supply everything that child needs. And guess what? I make 10,522 mistakes every second. I said a second. I don't always say the nicest things. I'm not always saying the right way, the kindest things. But guess what? But that does not take away from how much I love my daughter, how much I want to impart in her, how much I want to see her grow and evolve and surpass me. It doesn't mean I don't work on her character. I don't talk to her about right and wrong. I don't show her how she should treat people. See, we keep forgetting about the good things that we can put in our kids. We have so much good in us to instill in our children. We can prepare them for society. So don't think, oh, because I still am working on this, I might not be good for this kid. I mean, if you really feel like you are not going to be capable of imparting some great things in your child, because you don't know who your child is going to be. When I say that, I'm saying you don't know what path they'll have in life. You don't know who they'll become in this world. Yes, we live in a world where it's a lot going on. That's another thing about a fear. Yes, the world is crazy because that was a fear of mine too. Why do I want to have a kid and bring this kid into this world? Because while yet it's a lot of craziness and a lot of bad things, there's a lot of beauty. There's a lot of beauty they can experience too. And I do not want to cheat my child out of the beauty that this world offers too. It's all about how I choose to raise my child and what I choose to bring around my child and what I choose to expose my daughter to. So that fear, that was, I just kind of went back on a little bit of fear. That is just what it is. It's a fear. Fear. Do not allow fear to stop you. And don't think that you not being a great parent or you not being good at this and that, you can't. Let me tell you something. If you don't know how to cook, you gonna learn. You gonna learn. I know they got recipes, they got YouTube, you got family. Trust me. And this is when the video I talked about, it's okay to ask for help. You got a whole village around you that can help you. If you can say, look, I don't think I'm gonna be a good parent because man, my eating is terrible. I guarantee you have that kid, you're gonna start trying some balancing meals. You'll be like, let me try a little bit more healthy stuff. I'm trying to tell you, they make your life evolve. Like you think, oh, I can't be a caterpillar anymore now. And I done been a caterpillar, spun my cocoon, I'm a butterfly now. Now my wings about to fall off. Nope. Because when your child comes into your life, it's a whole new chapter. It's a whole new beginning because you have never experienced that before. So you're back in your caterpillar stage again. Now you got to respin your cocoon and now you get to come back out as another butterfly and now you have somebody with you. So don't think about, I'm not good enough. You are. You are good enough. Yes, you are. Another reason why we talk ourselves or we decide that it's too late for me, I can't be a parent. And this is a real one. I want y'all to think about this. We know that we're already in our 40s or approaching our 40s or maybe past our 40s. And we don't believe we have enough time. Here we go again with that word time. We don't have enough time where if we have a kid now, like if you have a kid and you're 48, dang, that means I might not be around to see my child into adulthood. Says who? I'm listening. Who says that? Who told you that you wasn't going to be able to see your kid grow up? Who told you that? Who promised you that? Because the last time I checked, I've been looking at a whole bunch of news lately, and it's been people who have been leaving this earth, and they have definitely not been my age, your age. It's been a lot of younger people, and some of them have had kids. So it's not even about your age. You all are looking at it like, man, I'm like 55. I'm 45. Man, I'm 43. That means if I'm 43, 44, my kid, man, by the time they get 10, my baby gonna be like I'm gonna be not my baby, but I'm gonna be like 54. Like, whoa. I got one foot in the grave. Stop speaking that on yourself. Speak life. I plan to be around for my daughter until I can't be around anymore. And I want to live forever. And that's impossible, but I don't ever put a time limit on how long I'm going to be breathing the breath of life. Do not sell yourself short by speaking your existence to end quicker. By you saying, I ain't going to be here. I'm not going to be here. Let me tell you something. The scripture says life and death is in the power of our tongue. If you say something long enough, you believe it, it can happen. I just believe that to be true. I believe it. I believe that there are people who believe something so much that they succumb to certain things. And something I don't ever speak on myself, I will never speak death on myself. Do not think that because you are a certain age that you are not going to see your child grow. Your child is going to be with you where they are supposed to. They're going to be with you how long they're supposed to be with you. If that child is meant to be here with you, that child is going to be here with you. I'm like, God, I want to be around. I want to be around to see my grandkids. I'm still young. I still got a lot of living to do. My baby is going to be 5. 5, guys. I am not a spring chicken, but I'm also not an old chicken. I got a spring chicken or old chicken. I'm not an old chicken. No. There are things that we can do. And I'm going to tell you something. Since my daughter has been here, there are so many great changes that I have done in my life. But guess what? I didn't do it for her. I did it for me. See, a lot of times we don't see the big picture as to how much life that a child can add to your life. Because there are certain things that you improve about yourself because you want to remain here. You want to make sure you're here for your kids. You want to make sure you have your energy. You want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And because you have that child there, they have just added to your life. Don't take away by thinking that, oh, because I don't have a kid, I mean, I ain't going to have no time left. Yes, you will. You will be able to relive. Let me tell you something. I have lived a lot of my childhood. I'm not going to say fantasies, but I've revisited a lot of my childhood memories through my daughter. Just because she's young and the things that she loves to do, it reminds me of things I love to do. And so I get to relive those through her because she likes to do certain things. So I want to make sure that she gets that experience. And so I do get to put some of the things in me, not in me, in her that my parents put in me. And she loves them. And I'm like, wow, this takes me back to a time when I was a child. Look how much life that this child gives me. Because as grown-ups, we forget how to live. We're so used to working, paying bills, we forgot how to have fun. And my daughter definitely teaches me how to have fun. I mean, yesterday we was just over there building goats, making goats with blocks. Who makes goats with Lego blocks? My daughter. Mommy, come play with me. We forgot how to play. Look how much life. Stop looking at your age and saying, man, I'm getting older. No, you just forgot how to have fun. You forgot how to live. Because when we're grown-ups, we define living by, oh, we just need to relax. No, you need to get up and move and enjoy the days you have left. And that's what my daughter has added to me. So if you're saying, wait a minute, I don't have much time left, I want to see my daughter grow up, then get up and enjoy her or him or them. Do something with them. I'm trying to tell you, you will live your life and you won't even see and pay attention to how much time is going by. You'll enjoy it. Another thing is that another reason why we do talk ourselves out of it, and this is when I kind of talked about um, men and women, because both people sometimes can have fertility issues, and you may have a hard time as a woman conceiving, and then as the man, you may have a hard time supplying what is needed for the woman to conceive. But I want to tell you, don't let that stop you. It is still not too late. There are options. You can become a foster parent. And then not only that, you can end up adopting that child. So you still have a chance to enjoy being a parent. That's a desire of your heart. It's not too late. You can still adopt children. You can still foster children because there are so many children who need people that's going to love them. Are they your own biological? No. But guess what? They can still be your child. I know of a woman, phenomenal woman. It was one of my, when I was teaching, she was one of my parents. And she did, her son, she did foster care. But let me tell you something about this woman. And her child that she fostered, he came with a whole bunch of different little challenges. But when I tell you she loved him, and then he was in my class, so I loved him. And guess what? She adopted him. So he became from a foster child to her child. And then she also fostered a little girl. And guess what? She adopted her. So now she has two. She's enjoying being a parent. And she's doing it by herself. And this is what I'm saying. If that is your desire, and I think we may probably be about around the same age. I never asked her age, but I believe we are. But it was just the joy that she, and I don't know her story. I don't know maybe if she couldn't conceive. I don't know if maybe she had that fear of not wanting to conceive because she was have the fear of pregnancy because women do have that and they want to have a kid but they don't want to go through the whole process. And then some women can't for whatever reasons. For whatever reason, a woman can't. And I don't ask. But then there's also a surrogate. You can also have a surrogate that can carry your child for you. Because I do recall one time when I had thought about, I don't know if I thought about it, but I think my sister had made a statement. Because my sister, like I said, she had 5 kids. And I remember one day she said, you know what, sis? She's like, if I was younger, and I think this is before I even had Lily, she's like, I would have been your surrogate. I would have carried the baby for you. And I thought that was the most loving thing because I'm going to tell you something. I was single for a long time. And, just the single life, you just don't have kids with everybody. And so, but a lot of times, I'll tell you, single people get tired of being single. And when I say being single, I'm not talking about being able to get up, go do what you want. Because yes, that's great and good and all, but it gets old. Like sometimes I want to come home to my noise. Like I want to hear my daughter's laughter. Like it is such an amazing experience when you walk in a store and now I don't just got to go shop for me. I get to shop for her. Or I don't just have to plan, like when I want to go somewhere, I now can look on the kids menu. I mean, these are small things that we might take for granted as parents and be like, but wow, I'm really sharing my existence with somebody other than myself. And so I just want to say all of that because I want you to not rob yourself out of one of the most phenomenal experiences you can have. I don't want you to think that it is not or it's too late for you. It is not too late for you. If that is a desire of your heart, I don't care if you are 45. I gave birth to my daughter at 45. I conceived at 44. So if you think that, man, I'm 40, I'm 41, oh my gosh, I mean, having a baby now. I remember even when I went back to my OBGYN, I asked her a question just out of the blue. Asked her, I said, have you ever had a woman, in her 50s ever have delivered a baby? And she said, well, actually, she said, no. She said, if she's like, why are you thinking about it? I was like, no, I'm just asking questions now. Wait a minute, lady. But I was just curious. She said, well, she said she has had women. She said, but I was one of her oldest patients when I was, I think pregnant with her baby, with her baby. Excuse me, with my baby when I was pregnant with her. And that was amazing to me because I think that women are so afraid and they don't want to embrace, or men don't want to embrace parenthood. And it's also because people have put these thoughts in our head, man, you too old to be doing that. That's another thing. Don't let people tell you what you are too old to do. I'm grown. And if I make a decision and if I want to be a parent, I don't care what y'all think. Okay, yes, my daughter's kids, her son is 18. He's about to be 18. Her other one is in his 20s. And Her youngest now is going on 10, 9 or 10. And I got the baby. But guess what? I love it. Do not let people talk you out of it and convince you that you're old because they still want to do certain things. You might have outgrown that. You may need a different fulfillment in your life. And that is what children do. They bring up fulfillment. And it is nothing that compares to it. So I just want to come on here and look, this one's 45 minutes because this is something that's dear to my heart. I really want you to know that if you are a woman or if you're a man who is reaching that age where you are almost 40, in your 40s, a little bit beyond your 40s, beyond your, 40s plus. I'm just going to say if you're 40s plus, if you're getting the 40s or you're 40s plus and you think your time has run out, it is not too late. If that is a desire of your heart, do not throw that away. Don't. Embrace it and love it. And if that is your choice, let it be your choice. But I just wanted to come on here. I wanted to talk about that today because I want you all to know that it's a blessing. Children are a blessing from the Lord. And it's a reason why children are given to us. And some of us need children. I'm sorry, I believe everybody does, and some people just OPT, they opt out not having kids. And I believe they miss out on so much fulfillment in their life because some people want just not to have kids for whatever reason. And that's their right. I'm not going to bash them and say you need to have kids. No, I'm just giving my opinion. Well, I just believe we all should have kids. But like I said, that is my opinion. That's my opinion. I'm entitled. But anyway, I just want to encourage you all, and I just want to say it again. It's not too late for you. It is not. And I want you to remember that. And if that's a true desire of your heart, just ask God, well, Lord, how can I go about it? If I don't feel like my body is healthy enough to actually carry a child, it is so many options out here for you. Somebody is waiting for you to love them. Okay? And if you can, and even if you have kids, and let's say you just have baby fever, you decide, you know what, honey, let's have another one. He might look at you like this. But don't run from the idea. I'm 40s plus mom movement, and this is me signing off. And I just want to say, with that being said, I have to say that because that is our line. And I just want you all to stay fabulous. I pray that this message was helpful to you. I pray that it was information that you can use, that it makes you think. If it helped you or you thought about becoming a parent or anything like that, just leave your comments. Let's chat. I'm waiting for y'all to leave me some comments now. I want to hear what you got to say. Okay? And if you want to get a t-shirt, just reach out to me. You can leave me comments down there and I can reach back out to you. But just stay fabulous, and always remember you're fabulous and that we are all in this together and that we will always be in this together because the one thing we always have in common is our children. And if you decide that you want to also join our 40s plus movement, come aboard. Well, with that being said, you all have an awesome rest of the day. It's raining outside. It's a Tuesday, but I'm smiling inside. All right, you all be blessed and have a great, and guess what? I will talk